All right, I'm gonna give you what happened during the whole week before I go and watch some Saturday Night Live. All right, so Monday, May 4th, the major started out in the red. And the Russell 2K went to a record high. Bank of America trend for the highest on the street. Nvidia moved higher. The 10-year dropped. The 30-year dropped. Brent crude dropped. And to new lows, Bitcoin went to the highest since 2023, over 65,000. Chip stocks in Japan doing well. The FTSE, the CAC, and the DAX all went unchanged. The semiconductor uptick has technology stocks making moves. 22.2 million barrels in OPEC will be off the market. Double-digit gains for the S&P. Geopolitical risk could pose a hit in the rally. The Japan Nikkei went over 40,000. Stock rally, rate cut in Japan was, it helped. In the U.S., our rate cut forecast will face a test with Jay Powell's testimony that happened later on in the week, in the jobs report, which was a really strong one. All right. Waymo is now approved to operate in Los Angeles. Macy's, Best Buy, banking on small format stores amid retail shifts. A new discovered hydrogen mine in Albania could be important in hydrogen sourcing. In our hydrogen solutions for those hydrocarbon bonds for our energy. Disney airs back Bob Iger against Nelson Peltz. Republicans fight basic income programs in Arizona, Texas, Iowa. Independent abortion clinics are crucial but endangered. There's a hiring test on killing resumes and making jobs easier to get. Billionaire Ray Dalio doesn't think the stock market is in a bubble. Office owners eye creative uses for spaces devoid of workers. Trader Joe's recalls chicken dumplings over hard plastics. Stores are cutting back on product variety and choices you can make. Ross's stores says that housing and food costs continue to put pressure on its customers. And Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF is looking at a bearish pattern. Okay. On the next day, Bitcoin reaches 69,000 and it faces a pullback to go under 59,000. The S&P 500 drops further from the record. Boeing Mechanics has kicked off high stakes contract talks on that will happen on Friday, which was yesterday. All right. Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated Class B stock underperforms that on Tuesday, and its trade labor unions in Starbucks boardroom fight after progress on bargaining. All right. AI and tout performs. OpenAI says Elon Musk back for profit plans and that its emails provided it. Mortgage rates stay at 7%, but the first-time buyers aren't holding back. The Honest Company shares surge on positive revenue outlook. Express has been delisted from the New York Stock Exchange and will unlikely appeal. Tesla is not one of the 10 largest U.S. companies for the first time in 13 months. The NYCB raises more than $1 billion in equity investment, led by former Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. Victoria's Secret shares plummeting on weaker sales forecasts amid subdued apparel demand. Meme coins like Doge and Pepe are rallying again. Anheuser-Busch and beverage SA ADR rises on Wednesday. It outperforms the market. GameStop's corporate Class A stock outperforms competitors on a strong trading day. Microsoft's stock outperforms competitors despite losses on the day. Alphabet and corporate Class A stock Google underperforms on Wednesday when compared to competitors. Bank of America Corp stock starts rising on Wednesday. DHL owner Duchess Post forecasts no recovery this year after a 25% decline in annual profit. Box posts first $1 billion earnings. CrowdStrike stock soars. And as we stay on Wednesday, the 10-year, the 2-year rose, the 30-year dropped. WTI, Brent crude, natural gas went up. The euro and the pound went up. The Dow the yen went down. The German DAX went up. The CAC went up. Bitcoin went up. Bitcoin went down. The Hang Seng went down. OpenAI says Elon has lost his way. And Musk says Microsoft deal breached an agreement. Nordstrom is winding down. Regional bank reckoning may be over. Treasury regains ground after massive stock sell-off. Gold hitting new fresh highs. ETF flows driving in Bitcoin gains. Morgan Stanley cut target. Barenberg upgrades. Honeywell crude prices moving higher. Stock futures are flat after major averages claw back some of the weak losses. Dow finishes with a small gain after the Fed chair signals rate cut may take time to materialize. For the 14th year in a row, the S&P 500 did better than the majority of the actively managed U.S. large cap funds. Apple stock is held to 170. The Apple stock could be slaughtered if Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway sells. Apple escalates. Epic Game feud by blocking Fortnite app in the EU. Boeing not providing records linked to the panel blowout. And Etihad Airway CEO said he's not concerned about Boeing's safety standards. Investor Nelson Peltz blasts CEO Bob Iger on a 133-page activist memo to restore the magic at Disney. Ex-Google executive engineer arrested for working with a Chinese company. More details to come. GE spinoff Vernova predicts a doubling of electricity production. Nvidia is still climbing. Starbucks laying off thousands of workers in the Middle East in response to the Gaza boycotts. That number topped to 2,000. AT&T stock rises and underperforms. Target 360 comes to an app near you. Now, the major average on the next day, Thursday, the major averages were up. Crypto was mixed. Chevron pitting a deal at risk with Exxon getting a stake in Guyana oil project. The Super 7 over in the United Kingdom is thriving, and also the rest of Europe. And performance stocks complementary to the Magnificent Seven in the United States. The euro was up, the pound was up, the yen was down, the FTSE 100 was up, the DAX in Germany was up, the 2 and the 10-year in the U.S. was down. Nvidia leads the rally and the dollar went up. Brent crude, WTI, natural gas went down. Broadcom was the strongest on the street. Victoria's Secret sinks on outlook. Burlington Coat Factory jumps on an earnings beat. Gold stays hitting new record highs. The 15-year jumbo went down and the 30-year fix went up. S&P 500 futures are a little unchanged as Wall Street braced for the February jobs report, which was, like I said, a really good one. All right. That job report was over 275,000 jobs added. All right, the S&P 500 notches a record close as investors claw back tech-driven losses. Stocks are doing something unusual, taking the elevator up and the escalator down on as Wall Street rallies. Rivian wants the attention from Apple. Disney is hit with a class action lawsuit for labor violations at hotels. Nike's closed positive. Starbucks introducing floral flavor for spring. Bike lanes are economically sound. The Google engineer that was arrested ran a secret startup company in China while stealing AI tech. All right. Now, there are 3 stocks with a 177% upside. Russia energy revenue was up 80% in February. Defense Unicorns lands a $35 million funding from Sapphire Ventures. Diners in D.C. faced a 20% service charge, like it or not. Tesla value slump down. They slumped $234 billion. That's more than the worth of McDonald's. All right. And pitch deck AI health benefit startup Fojoya used to raise $8.3 million. Now, yesterday, what we learned a lot. All right, into today. So millennials fail. No, the millenniums, they fall for investment scams more than boomers. Microsoft senior executives were targeted by Russian hackers in a password spray attack. NVIDIA's Jensen Huang says CEOs should manage the most people. Oppenheimer director Christopher Nolan bet on himself and made $72 million. The next recession economy faces a sudden downturn after unemployment surprises. It's coming. They say it's coming later. China's BYD is the biggest EV maker and avoiding the United States. Robinhood is offering retirement accounts for some gig workers. California $20 fast food wage will drive up pay in other industries. Wealth building strategy the rich use. Invest in HSA and max out the plan. Credit card crisis escalates for millennials and Gen Z. The CEO of a weight loss company Found is stepping down. Tide wants to move away from pods and onto tiles. Sam Altman is set to return to OpenAI's board of directors. Apple has hired a key NBC Universal executive, which is a sign of their own TV ambitions. Rivian borrows from Steve Jobs' playbook with the R3 surprise. In a tech sell-off after the mixed jobs data, 3 stock tailwinds will drive more upside to record highs. 4 Slack groups for creators of color and women to land a paid deal. Ford leans on hybrids in a fight against Tesla. Costco cutting prices as inflation slows. ChatGPT isn't free from racial bias in job hiring. Microplastics linked to higher risk of heart attack and stroke. And Breathe looks healthy despite mega cap strength. And like I said earlier, 275,000 jobs were added in February and a 3.9% unemployment rate. Booming stocks set U.S. household wealth to record highs. Imagine that. Well, tomorrow's Sunday, and it's a new week.